And we are back.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yeah, welcome back. Hopefully you can hear us now.
To MLG Anaheim 2014. I'm with El Capitan.
El Capitan. And of course the crazily handsome Frenchman here next to me is Todd.
Your flattery will not work.
My flattery always works.
Okay, maybe. Okay, let's
go
get the game on the way. Right now it's 1-1 between those two players, Trap and puCK, who's playing as Iron Man for some reason. And our last and final map is going to be played on Overgrowth. You just raised a very good point about what word you
habitation.
Less choky.
Less choky in habitation, yeah.
Yeah. Elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, there's a little bit more leg room here on this map. Of course, there's chokes still at, say, the third, or the natural thirds that most people take. I actually prefer taking the other one. But what most people take at their fourth or fifth up north from the main.
All right, I want you to do the introduction, at least for puCK, and give me something special. An impression of somebody or an accent.
Okay. In the bottom, I'll do you then. In the bottom left hand position of the map, Overgrowth, it is the red player from IVD Gaming. It is puCK.
I didn't know I'm Russian, but thank you. And in the top right-hand side corner, his opponent, it's of course incredible Miracles Trap.
Indeed, and with two early leads in both games, I would say. Not so early, maybe heading into the mid-game, but losing the last game to puCK, a little bit careless. Do you think he feels a little bit extra pressure playing against a foreigner here?
Yeah, surely. And also, one thing with Trap is, even the attack he did in the first game, it worked, but you're not particularly supposed to attack at this time. So even though it worked, I'm not sure of how good it was. He could have waited a little bit more. He could have extended his lead. In the second game, remember what I said? I said, he's not supposed to move out here again. He moves out with almost nothing and no mothership core. That means if you get caught out of position, you're going to lose everything. So he took a big risk, and this time it actually did not pay off in the second game. He's going to have to be a little bit more careful than he was in the previous game if he does not want to be caught off guard and chased down and killed by a puCK who played very, very well in the previous game.
Indeed, and puCK this time around not even scouting. I really like this. If he actually doesn't scout at all, I would love it.
Yeah, but you know, this build has weaknesses. Like if you don't scout at all, and say you get proxied very quickly by Stargates, and you don't see it coming, an Oracle is going to fly into your base at a time you really don't expect it. You're going to be out of position, and you're not going to have photon overcharge either. So you're going to take a ton of damage.
But this is why I like it, though. I think that puCK has identified the same thing that I mentioned last game, where Trap is the player that's reacting to puCK and kind of playing like, quote-unquote, the better player, you know, saying it doesn't matter if you get tiny leads, if your third is a little bit earlier. I don't think that Trap would be the player to risk something with this much on the line, the first match. So
remember, puCK went for expansion twice so far out of 2 games in this series. So if he was to do something like that again, I mean, in StarCraft you very often feel tempted to keep a winning strategy and keep on doing it. That's why you play Swarm almost every single game. But just joking. If puCK was to do that again and Trap is anticipating it and goes for something like 3-gate Stargates, you almost saw the win. I mean, unless you really mess up, you're going to win every single time. But no, puCK is going to mix it up in this series. He gets the Twilight Council this time, and Trap gets the Twilight Council as well, okay?
Yeah, like so we're going to have Blink against Blink by the looks of it.
You think? I feel like it can be DTs as well a lot of the time. And I feel like if somebody was to go for DTs here, it will be...
they would have the edge?
It will be puCK. Not necessarily, because you almost always get a robo, and PvP is somewhere in the metagame where you're very aggressive, you try to get a lot of information, and you're almost always going to be able to realize if there could be a Dark Shrine or not.
Yeah, both of their Twilight Councils are finished, and there's a Mothership Core playing out from Trap into puCK space. What's this about?
He wants to get the scout and then a recall, and he's hoping his opponent will be out of position, but that means he might do some damage onto the probes of his opponent, but he's not going to have any overcharge ever back at home to work with. So in this case, puCK could do quite some damage with the units that he has across the map, but no, this was a fake. He's going to pull back. He's already got a pylon proxied across the map.
Oh no.
puCK could recall himself. Does he recall for just 2 Stalkers? He's taking quite some time to regroup.
Yeah, that's a lot of mining time lost. I'm not even sure if it's worth the 3 or 4 probes that the Mothership Core would have killed. Perhaps just microing the probes that are being focused down would have been much better.
Oh, is he going to force the recall? Trap's trying to get out of here without. He might have to recall here unless... No, he has to recall. And puCK was even planning to catch that Mothership Core on the map somewhere. Behind this... Oh my god, Trap realized the lead is in. He sees that there was no DTs and that there was Blink being researched. He's like, you know what? I can kill you. He gets a 4th gateway. He's going to go all in with 4 gates. Blink, Stalker, and look, he even has a probe out on the map.
Yeah, his Blink will finish sooner than puCK's as well. So these 2 Stalkers are pretty much doomed, and that's gonna snowball pretty quickly here when it's Stalker against Stalker. It's puCK now going in with a Mothership Core. There's of course no photon overcharge, so I'm not even sure why Trap left it there. But yeah, now puCK is gonna be the one that won't have a photon overcharge available either.
And this is a big deal. I mean, defending in Blink against Blink is always going to be at the defender's advantage, but I feel like Trap is going to have better numbers here because of the early lead he took. He's 1 probe, the 2 probes behind now, but 2 Stalkers ahead. And there we go with the micro. puCK's doing this very well, so is Trap. puCK's going to lose a Stalker actually, which was not particularly supposed to happen now. 3 Stalkers more for Trap, which is the biggest of deals in this kind of mirror situation.
Yeah, the only advantage that puCK has right now is his ramp, and there's no Mothership Core likely for him to spot on the high ground, so at least he will get the first shot off. But is that enough to make up for the Stalker deficit?
Yeah, the concave is great here by puCK. I would like to see him warping at least 1 or 2 Zealots across the map to try and counterattack, but Trap is going to get in there. This could be good for puCK here. If he blinks well, if he makes sure he saves some of the Stalkers before they die, the Mothership Core tanks some damage as well. Trap is really committing a lot to this. puCK is catching up on the Stalker count. 8 versus 8 right now, 7 versus 7. puCK is ahead by 2 Stalkers.
Wow.
Did Trap mess up a little bit too much here with this attack? He's going to pull back now.
Yeah, and like you said, I think that attacking or the Mothership Core absorbing some damage there was actually fantastic for puCK, because, you know, it didn't really have anything to do. Its DPS is much lower than that of a Stalker, and it absorbs a lot more damage as well. So I think that was the edge that puCK needed, and now he's back in it.
You know, both players had a choice behind this. They can basically gamble if they want to that their opponent might skip the Robo and get a Dark Shrine. That means if they face Dark Shrine, they're going to be in some kind of weird base trade scenario. And Trap, he does not want to lose to puCK. puCK does not want to lose to Trap's DTs. Either way, both players are going to be getting a Robo and choose the safe route. Man, this game is so close, and this series in general, like even though...
Yeah. It's been back and forth.
Yeah, it's really, really back and forth. Both players really trying to outdo each other. And a lot of small things like army movements, transitions here and there. Even you see that one single Stalker here clearing his side of the map to make sure there's no proxy pylons. This is just so well done here by puCK.
Yeah, the difference between these 2 players right now is basically 1 probe. So it's actually quite impressive. The army supplies almost identical. Yeah. 2
sentries for Trap, which means he's going to want to play a little bit defensive. Usually in this situation, expand versus expand, you get 3 sentries so that you can have a lot of hallucination to work with, to scout consistently, to know what your opponent's up to. And expansion versus expansion, the thing you want to get as soon as possible is a Forge to start that +1, which is also important. But in this case, puCK is giving the priority to an Immortal.
Yeah, how important is Guardian Shield in this particular matchup?
Very important. I mean, maybe not in the Death Ball versus Death Ball, I mean, like 3 base scenario where there is a lot of charge loss and all that, but Stalkers versus Stalkers, even if there is some Immortals here and there, a lot of Stalkers are going to be attacking, doing a lot of damage. Having Guardian Shield is going to change everything. That's why usually if you have Guardian Shield at this point in the game and some sentries, you're going to think you're very, very safe. Even against some kind of 1 base play and all that, or a committal.
Yeah, do you feel like if both players knew what each other had right now, they would be taking a really quick third here?
A really quick third is not good, I think. You need to have at least, say, 40 to 44 probes before you start that third Nexus, and usually you even add additional gateways before. If you take a very quick third and then you get attacked, I don't feel like you can ever hold if you don't have 2 gases on your expansion and some kind of minimal take like charge on the way. It's very, very risky. You will die almost every single time, especially since it will be spotted very early on. And then the only advantage you would have is that you're sure you will fight with photon overcharge. As soon as somebody's army supply goes above, say, 40, photon overcharge becomes kind of useless in this matchup. I mean, the units have a lot of hit points. You're gonna, tickle a Zealot for like 30 seconds
For
until
the
you use
duration
your
of the
entire
fight,
army.
pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's an excellent point, and they're still mirroring each other. +1 upgrades, a little bit behind for puCK, but not behind enough that it won't be done by the time Trap would attack, unless that is if Trap Chrono boosts a lot and puCK doesn't.
Oh, RoboBay here. So we have a difference in the tech path. I guess puCK wants to mix it up a little bit and get some Colossus, and look at what he's doing with his Stalkers. He wants to prevent any kind of hallucination to get into this main, and if you don't spot the Colossus and you're going for charge route and say you let your opponent get 3 Colossus, it's so hard to fight. It's just so difficult to get a good fight. Your opponent's gonna have that AoE, which is so important, and I would expect puCK behind this to also get some kind of charge route and Archons, but no, he goes for his second Robo, so he's gonna be committing a lot to this Colossus play. I wonder if this is for a third base or not, but either way, the move of placing his Stalker so that he can intercept any kind of hallucinated units is very good. Oh, that Observer.
Yeah, of course Colossus are going to be best, much like Storm, in chokes. And that will allow him, like you said, to take a good safe third, I think. But it looks like it's Trap who's actually going to take the faster third.
Yeah,
now,
which is
if
normal.
Trap doesn't scout this, I don't think he's going to see it coming at all.
Yeah, he's sending in his... oh, he already saw it. He just saw the RoboBay. Right now, we are going to see Trap's reaction, which doesn't really have to be anything drastic, like, I don't know, getting his own second Robo and RoboBay, taking to 2-star, get Tempest. He could just, if he wanted, get a War Prism. He's going to be ahead on the units, on the unit counts, especially in open spaces. So that means if he takes one single fight, he could lose. But if he has, say, like a War Prism around the map ready to drop and counter-attack, puCK cannot really leave his base. And there is a chance Trap is going to try to get cancelled on that third base, because as long as there isn't a certain Colossus count and Trap, say, has like Archons and more Immortals, he can still fight.
Yeah. Also, a reaction that's perhaps almost never spoken of could simply be that is by Trap to take the engagements in the middle of the map, to position his army out and make sure that those concaves favor him.
But puCK won't move out. He knows better than that. I like those 2 pylons, by the way, blocking a little bit. You always want to have this against charged up Archons. Actually, Trap is fearless. Oh my god. Even against Colossus like this, he gets in there.
Oh,
he has a whole bunch of Immortals. They're going to be trapped. Oh my god.
The Archon trying to go in for saving him, but the beautiful warping by puCK preventing that. Do you think that was on purpose as he got?
Man, Trap is way too fearless. This is ridiculous. You're supposed to fear that army that puCK has. He missed his timing here. He's going to get chased down once again. Look at his supply. He's plummeted his supply already. And he was trying to do a little bit of everything. He's like, you know what? I'm going to cancel that base. Behind this, I'm going to attack to Colossus. And he made a War Prism as well. This was way too early. And getting caught here. Actually, I guess he's going to get the 1 Colossus, but is that enough?
Yeah, puCK's definitely done enough here. That was a beautiful defense by him. The army supply heavily in favor of puCK. Right now, 86 to 39. He's going to push into Trap's third base. And is there anything he can do here, Todd?
I feel like he has to leave that third base to die. He has to not try and defend it, because there is almost no way he's going to be able to defend that. Behind this, puCK's taking starting to saturate his own third. puCK has way less walkers, so that means his army is just that much bigger. 92 army supply against 49. You're not supposed to fight this Trap. He's still going to go for it. He uses the photon overcharge, which tickles the Zealot as predicted.
Wow, the tickles are being zealoted, or the Zealots are being tickled, and this third will definitely fall down. I think it all came down to those 3 force fields, man. That was fantastic.
Yes.
And a little bit of a mistake by Trap, I guess, having the Archons so far away from the Immortals.
It always happens, though. The pathing is made in such a way that the Archons will get stuck very often. GG puCK. puCK takes the series here.
Yeah, a very unexpected result, perhaps to many. I mean, Trap basically qualified on the back of PvP.
Yeah.
And puCK was able to take him down.
Trap in the qualifier for this tournament beats Hero, Liquid's Hero, Ruin, and then Stardust. So let's just say he has a pretty good PvP, whereas if you look at the match history of puCK, just in his recent matches, he's beat a bunch of North American Protosses, but every time he played a high caliber player like puCK, or even above the skill level of puCK, he lost almost every single time. So this is definitely an upset, and puCK should be very proud of himself for already upsetting a Protoss player, kind of like I did in 2011 with Alicia. There is the brag.
There's the brag. You guys didn't hear it the first time around. Probably we had sound issues, but Todd was bragging non-stop about it. I'm just kidding. I bragged for him because he mentioned how I defeated him just about a year ago.
Yeah, but I did say you
At
were
MLG.
criminal with your Infestor Broodlord abuse.
It is what it is. And puCK is going to take this serious. What a start
Yeah.
to this MLG.
Great start in this. This was the Group A, I believe. Let me take a look. Yeah, this was the Group A, which has Paul, Scarlet, Trap, Illusion, puCK, and Petraeus in it. You know what? puCK winning here, I feel like he's probably has an edge over Petraeus and Illusion. I'm sorry, I know they are your players.
I'll
That means,
disagree.
you know what? He beat Scarlet recently as well. If he's able to beat Scarlet, Illusion, and Petraeus, even if he loses to Paul, there's still a chance he could take first. And taking first is a big deal. You're already guaranteed like top, what, 6 or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, so it will be very, very good for him. He's going to have to make sure he stays on his A game and does not start to slow down.
Yeah, without a doubt, Trap, one of the guys to beat in this group. So great job by puCK, and we'll be back.